drifting and floating to the next most relevant sea that has information. Be there now. Tell me what you see, sense, and feel around you.
Wow. That the ooh, the temperature again is just perfect. It's like I don't need I don't even know if I'm looking. I don't even really see clothes per se. But just the temperature is just, it's perfect. But there's water now. Almost tropical rainforest meets beach. I'm lost for words to how to describe it. There's majestic cliff mountainsides but yet tropical rainforesty kind of beach, jungly at the bottom, and I'm not really on the ground, but I'm trying to see if I'm not floating. I'm just able to look around and see just such beauty.
And are you alone in this space?
No, there's beings, not close, but familiar beings, like looking, just sort of watching me take all of this in, like.
And what are you doing in this space? Why are you here? What's your purpose here?
There's family here. There's family that I know, all of them I know. But there's, oh wow. It's just like a welcome home surprise party.
Allow that to release.
Everybody's just so happy. So glad to see me. And I'm so glad to see them.
And are they saying anything to you? Yeah.
No, they're just all smiling, and it's like they're just, wow, there's just so much love right now. It's just, everybody's happy that I'm here, and I'm happy that I'm here, and this is, whoa.
And what do these beings, these family members, what do they look like?
They're more, oh wow, they're more, there's not a definition, they're just more aura energy, but as I look at some of them, I recognize them. But they're not Earth-like shapes, but they're not like ghostly blobs. They're just
Light beings?
They're so white, but not a bright, like shiny, white, but not transparent, but there's a little, oh, well, there's a little bit of color, but again, pastel-y sort of light tinting, but mostly white.
And is there a name that they call themselves? A name that we would be able to understand or pronounce? Type of being?
There is. They just told me, and I don't know it, but the closest that I could pronounce would be galactic.
And is there anything they wish to share with you right now? Is there anything they want to tell you? Is there a member or somebody who wants to come forward and speak to us?
They're just letting me kind of soak this in at the moment.
Okay.
But there is one trying to get a handle on this. There is one that's a little bit more, I guess, in charge, but nobody's really a true leader. They're just all, one. They're almost, as they stand next to each other, their auras kind of blend and become one large aura. But then if you look directly, you can kind of see just that one being.
Does this being have a name? Something that we would be able to identify them as?
I don't know if this is their name or something that they're telling me, but Sachi came up.
Does this being want to come forward and give a message, or?
They're extending their hands or their arms, like to join hands. It energy-wise, it feels like my mom, but also feels just like greater than my mom. And she just said, "It's okay. You're home. We've been waiting for you." They're just kind of encircling me. I'm like in the center of a circle, and they're all just around me, and they're just smiling and just pouring out love.
And so what is life like here in this place? Take your time.
Things are coming, I think, a little bit in, maybe that's what it was earlier. Maybe they just weren't so in focus, and it was, now I can see more dwellings, like, or spaces where somebody would live, maybe work. In the sides of the cliffs and the trees. But then there's people on the ground. It's like it's all coming more into focus. It's like an amusement park, but not crowded, but just every person I look at is just beaming with happiness and love, and I can go from the ground to the top of the tree with just no effort. Just go. Just like I think, and I'm there. Whoa. But if I step off the platform in a sense, the floor. Instead of falling to the ground, I just sort of, ooh, I just can float, and then I can like if I was going to sit in a chair, just sit, and that causes me to go down. But if I don't want to fall anymore, I kind of stand up, and I'm just there now.
So you're kind of moving just through thought
Yeah,
and
but now I'm going to go
intention.
down. I'm going to go down to the ground. Oh
So
boy.
do you have form yourself? You can take a look
Um,
at your feet and your body.
Feet are there. There's no definition though.
Mm-hmm.
They're still larger than I would anticipate my regular feet to be,
Mm-hmm.
but I don't have toes. They're
Okay.
just more of a they're just more of a almost like a fin or a flipper,
Mm-hmm.
um, but still hinged like my foot would be hinged to a leg.
Mm-hmm.
But there's no appendages. There's no toes. No separation. Just it's flatter than my larger and flatter than I would than my normal foot, but not grossly large. Just
Mm-hmm.
a few sizes larger than I would normally wear in a shoe. But I don't have shoes on.
Yeah. Are you wearing anything? Do you have any clothes on or
Um, yeah, not really clothes, but just like a almost somewhat like a serape or a toga-y kind of
a
uh,
robe of some sort?
poncho
Mm-hmm.
or a robe. Yes.
What color is it?
Some yellows and purples in it.
Mm-hmm.
Not one color stronger than the other, and no pattern really. Almost as it turns and shimmers, it's yellow, and then if you look at it from a different side or different, it's purpley, and it's
And what color is your skin tone?
um, kind of a milky white, silvery sort of, very muted.
Mm-hmm.
Um, Not translucent, but not opaque, but kind of a whitey, um, a white with a shimmer to it.
And can you describe your facial features?
They're similar to my what I remember my face to be. Um, as I look at them in kind of an examination, then they come a little bit more in focus, and like it's almost like looking in a mirror, but looking at the best of me.
Mm. Do you have any jewelry or adornment or
I don't,
mm,
at least not right now. But I look around and I see others that have like some bracelets or arm cuffs on.
mm.
Um, there's somebody that has a necklace, um, but I don't have anything on at the moment. But I just looked back at myself again and I was happy. I was like, okay, I like what I see.
Nice. So let's go to your home. Let's go to where you eat and dwell and rest. Let's go there now. You're there. And when you're ready, you can tell me what you see, sense around you.
Huh. Guess where I'm at the moment. I'm in the trees, in the tops of the trees.
Mm-hmm.
There's the division of space, but not traditionally like walls or furniture. But this is where I'm at, is kind of like the family room,
Mm-hmm.
the heart. And I can look out and just see there's other trees and other people and dwelling trees, but I look down and just see a vast valley of lush tropic. Whoa. But then there's majestic cliffs, and there's some people that have their homes, I guess, in the sides, and everybody face towards each other, but not in a voyeuristic way.
Mm. So community.
Yeah.
Mm. And how do your kind receive energy? Do you eat?
I was looking to see if there's a kitchen or a place or something. Um, I don't see in this space, I don't see a kitchen,
Mm-hmm.
but I don't know how to describe it. I guess kitchen would probably be the closest thing, but it isn't like I prepare foods, but it's almost like
Mm-hmm.
they're available.
Okay. And what sort of things would you consume?
Um, they're, I would say that more, they're from Gaia. They're from this planet. They're from whatever this space I'm in. Um,
Natural.
they're just gifts from,
Planet.
and they just are. It's almost like opening up a cupboard, and the cupboard's got what I need.
Mm-hmm.
But I don't have to take it out, and I don't have to make a sandwich. I don't have to build something. I just can take it, and it's just right there.
Mm. And what's your, I guess we would call it occupation? What is it that you do here?
I direct,
Mm-hmm.
and they're laughing because they said that they knew that I was supposed to direct and control, but I didn't know that at the time. It's like the conductor of an orchestra or a
Mm-hmm.
director of a movie. I make sure that all the right places or pieces are put in the right spot, and know
Yeah.
how they all are going to come together and at the right time. And but they say we all do that.
Mm-hmm.
Nobody steps on anybody else's territory or responsibilities, or no one person is more important than the next. It's a big family,
Yeah.
and we're just all happy to be in everybody's space. But yet, as I look out, I see other dwellings and other people in the trees and people or beings in the cliff houses, and they've got their own little family thing going on, and nobody's conflicting with anybody. Everybody's just doing it in harmony.
What dimension is this? Just trust your first impression.
4.5.
4.5. Excellent.
And they just said it's not. I haven't not quite hit 5. That's why I can't say 5. But I've definitely moved past. So it's. Oh. And the one mom soul person said, "There's much more than 5, sweetheart.
Yeah.
Don't rush it." She's at 12. But now that we're here, going down is really easy. Going up just takes patience, practice, love, trust.
Does your family here in this space have any guidance for you for your current life?
They're saying that I'm doing exactly what I should be doing. And even though there's bumps and curveballs and uncertainty, that I just have to listen to my heart and go with the flow, and I'll be great. I can come back here anytime I want. Head down there, not down in the valley where we're at, but down there dimensionally, is yucky. My brother, he says, "Why do you think I left?" It's yucky. It's like when I look at him, I see a sort of a physical soul energy person being. But then when I look at him, I see the energy and the aura radiates out so much farther.
Yeah.
It's such a larger than life source. But then as I look at others, they all do that now. It's like we have our armor or our cloaks or our coverings on, but if we take those off, it's like the light, the warmth, the vibration just goes out bigger than we are.
Yeah, we're a lot more than we cram into a human body. So is there any more information about this place or life here that wants to come through?
No, we're gonna go explore. My brother asked me if I want to go explore.
Okay.
So we're not driving, but we're not walking. We're sort of like thinking and moving, and it's like a floating way of doing it. It's and we're now more in a city type area, but it's not city, but it's not as tropical and not as um, lush, but it's clean and it's pure and but I'm not sure what we're here yet for, but he's showing me something.
Mm-hmm.
There's like pods that all are connected, like when you see a chemistry drawing of elements and they're
Mm-hmm.
connected by the dots and the lines and these pods, and we haven't gone inside a pod yet, but he's showing me how we're up above and looking down and they're all around in this metropolis. But not no yeah, no, it's more like a just trying to find the right word. It's almost like a camp or it's just a yeah, I don't know. But that these places have different responsibilities,
Mm-hmm.
but that they're all connected. And you don't have to go from this one to this one to the next one. You could go at any path you want and pick up the energy or the responsibility or what's going on inside. It's not linear. It's whatever you feel like.
So are
They're
they educational?
They're like workshops, kind of.
Okay.
Classrooms almost, maybe.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, the one that we're in now is it's more medically driven, I think.
Mm-hmm.
It's almost like the people that are there are learning about not where we are, because where we are, there is no disease, there is no ailments, there is no heartache, there's no wounds to tend to, but we're learning how to fix them, maybe from another source or at another source, but it may be in another part of the planet. I'm not sure. But we're learning, or the people here are learning, that there's frequencies and there's ways to transfer energy from one being to another to heal that challenge or that wound or that cut or that brokenness. And he says that it all comes back to love. He says you don't understand how powerful love is and what love can do.
Mm-hmm.
Love can stop the flow of water. Love can make it rain. Love can bring on the wind. And we're just where we are now. Oh, this is fun.
Yeah.
It's like just being in this room. I just have like all the information that they wanted me to have. I now have it.
Mm-hmm.
But I didn't have to sit and listen to somebody tell me how to have it. They just like gave it to me.
Yeah.
Like just it's all you just know. It's like when you turn off the flame of a stove, you know that it's still hot, but you don't have to touch it to know that.
Yeah.
It's just all inside. You just know, and it's um, but there's others that aren't grabbing it as quickly or
Mm-hmm.
integrating it to their soul as easily.
Mm-hmm.
And they're just saying just go at your pace, and when you've got it, whether it's now or you need to come back for more, you can come back anytime. And they want us to go out and share that our energy, our touch, our 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 inner fire can change and heal and fix anything.
Mm-hmm. Beautiful. So these are
Yeah,
like education pods where you go when you receive the
yeah.
information.
There's another. Now we're at another one, and I don't even know how we got there. We just it's almost like the curtain lifted, and we did. I don't feel like I move, but I'm in a different pod, and this is like creating.
Mm-hmm.
People are just, well, they're playing with, gosh, they're just, they're, I guess, painting but they're building. They're just crafty.
Mm-hmm.
Um, uh,
Do they have physical supplies they're doing this with, or are they just manifesting them?
no, I think maybe they're manifesting them. They're just
Okay.
like I'm watching this. He looks like a younger soul, but he doesn't feel younger, so he's just littler, but oh, he's got a huge presence.
Yeah.
He's just like building with clay or some form of any these things that he's moving and molding. They just there. It's not like he's going to a cupboard and pulling out the paint or pulling out the clay or pulling out a sculpting knife. He's just almost using his hands and his energy, his mind to just
Mm.
craft this. Wow, I don't know what this is, a sculpture or it's, I don't know. It's just, wow. It's got a glow and an energy source to it. And whoa, it's really cool. Okay, we're going to go to another pod.
Okay. You let me know when you're there.
Oh, we're already there. This is um this is a communications,
Mm-hmm.
and yet we have mouths, and we can use them for communication and that source, but this is almost more of it's that instant download again. We don't have to use our mouths to communicate. We can
Mm-hmm.
use our minds. We can use our touch. Um, there's multiple ways to communicate with others. That doesn't always have to be audible and verbal.
Mm-hmm.
Um, but depending on the scenario or the situation that we're in, we could use one or more. And I don't understand this part. There's some other beings that everybody's in a great mood, but there's some that are absorbing it slower than others. Like I walked into the room and it was like, done, you got this.
Yeah.
And there's others that are listening to, I guess, not a teacher, but a master, but not in an authoritarian way, but just somebody like somebody that's walked down a certain road and they're just sharing their experience and their story with the others, so that then when they get to walk down the road, it's not like they're doing it by themselves.
Mm-hmm.
But it's not a lecture, it's sharing.
Is there anything you need to know about this place or any more information about this one?
There's another pod in the distance,
Mm-hmm.
and it's intriguing, but I don't want to go there.
Okay.
And my brother's saying it's like a rehabilitation place.
Mm-hmm.
I don't have a need to go there, but there are people that need to go there and be. Actually, we could go.
Mm-hmm.
There's like, I thought there was love outside. Ooh, there's so much love in this pod.
Mm.
And the people that are here, the beings that are here, are like being reprogrammed to some level. Not in a negative way, but just, it's almost like the toy train that came off the tracks and they're just being put back on and uprighted, and they're just sort of, they're like, oh my gosh, the love in this room is just so grand. It's just like they're flooding everything out of them that was ever stuck in a crevice or a crack, and there's so much, like, just buckets of showers of love going over them, washing away anything that was not love. And this is, you said you didn't have to be here, you didn't have to come see it, but I recognize some of the people here.
Who do you recognize here?
Nobody, as I look around, nobody distinctive. Like, I know who that is, but I know who they are. Like, I can't call them by name, but it's almost like our fields have crossed paths before in some other dimension or space. But nobody, I see, as I scan around and look and see. No, some of the features. Oh, I see my son and my daughter. Actually, I see a lot of my family, but not in a not in a not in a shameful or a bad way. Just, and not that they're broken or need a full reprogramming. It's almost just like a tune-up, like a hug and a pat on the back. Just a reassurance of. But then there's a I don't recognize the being or the person, but there's somebody on the other side that they're not white, they're not dark, but they're not as white and as sparkly as we are. And there's 3 or 4 um, masters, teachers around them. Almost like, wow, almost like the toy train that came off the track, and you pick it up and you put it on yourself. This person, this being over in the corner, it's a train wreck, and it's taken a lot of love to help them.
Mm. So is this place or planet, is this a fourth dimensional planet, or is this a place where your souls meet?
I think it's more of a soul place. It's wow. There's physical. As I'm standing there, my feet are firmly on some surface.
Mm-hmm.
But as I kind of like let go, it's more of a place of being than a physical planet.
Yeah, I'm with you.
But I could easily sit in the chair too.
So it's like it's a space where your souls reside, or is this a...
Well, as we walk out of this pod room, we're back out into like the courtyard per se, I guess and it feels more planet-like. There's nature around us. There's things to touch and to feel. It's wow. It's like it's planetary if you want to be in kind of a physical contact. But if you want to be there in an energetic soul form, it's a space.
So it's almost like a parallel fourth dimensional, four and a half dimensional.
Yeah, if you wanna stay in that physical contact space and well, back when we were at the house or the homestead, there was you could what we were eating was like a salad or something that came from nature, fruits or vegetables. It was not we didn't have to make it. It just was there. And here we're in this courtyard. You can be in the courtyard and explore and touch and feel and taste all that you want. And if you don't want, nobody says anything, and they don't pass any judgment. They don't go, oh well, how come he or she is doing that or this? It's okay. Everything is okay.
Yeah.
And if you want to touch the water that's going by in the stream creek, you can. But if you want to float up and feel the energy of the stream, you could do that too. Ooh, I just did that. I touched the water first and felt it on my hands, but then as I raised up, I felt the flow of the water and kind of its coolness just go through my body, through my energy, like I was part of it.
Yeah.
And it was just perfect. It wasn't too cold. It didn't burn. It just was the right. It was like being part of the water if you wanted to be part of the water. But if you as I as I sit back down and stand back down on my feet. They're sort of like flippers. I could see the water, and I could touch the water, and I could feel the water. But if I want, I can be the water.
Yeah. It's beautiful.
Oh, okay.
Limitlessness. Is there anything else your brother wants to show you here?
Anything is possible. Everything is available. If you want more of a physical connection portion of this space, you can have that. If you want to throw a ball, we can throw a ball. If you want to think about throwing the ball, I can think about throwing that ball. You can do both.
Beautiful.
And it's just the right now, it's just the right of everything. It's not too bright. It's not like high noon sun, bright, hot, beating down on you, but it's not twilight, not dark. It's just light is coming from all over, but not directly. It's just wow, it's just my brother said, now do you see why I kind of cut out a little early?
Yeah.
Oh. And he doesn't say it in a mocking way, and I'm leaving you way, but this is you can come here if you want to, and you can stay as long as you want to, and he knows now that I know now of being here, feeling here. I could come back here. I could stay here.
Beautiful. So if there's no more information in this beautiful space that you're in, let's thank everybody for being here with you in this space. It's showing you all this beauty and wonder. Thank you for the messages.
They're all back around in this. I don't know where they came from. They just all showed up, but they're all around again. It's like being in the middle of a courtyard. I'm in the middle, and they're all around me, and they're all happy and joyous again, almost like applauding and bowing to me. But I don't feel like I'm the one that should be bowed to. But they're happy.
So let's take all of that love and that comfort and that feeling of home, that feeling of limitlessness.
It's interesting. I can almost feel like I could pull all of their energies and put them inside me.
Yeah.
And tuck them all inside.
Tuck them all in. A pocket for each one.
Yeah. Oh, they're all. Oh, there's my grandpa.
Oh.
They're all here, and they said they've all been here. We've all been with you, every step, every way, the easy ones and the hard ones, and there's just love. It's
beautiful. Is there any final messages from any of them before we move on?
Oh, that's my brother. He got this. Yeah, jokingly, in a fun way. You got this.
Beautiful. So let's close that scene. And let's drift and float to another important place, another important time that has information for you. Drifting and floating. Be there now. Tell me what you see and sense around
you. Don't recognize this place, and it's not as in focus.
Mm-hmm.
It's not as light either. It's I guess a space or a place that needs help.
Mm-hmm. A space that needs help.
But as I look around, it's like I can see stuff, shapes, but nothing. It's everything's a little blurry.
Mm-hmm.
But it has kind of like a shadowy feel to it, almost like the light is there, but it's just not as illuminated.
Mm-hmm.
It's not cold, but it's not. Given the choice, I don't. Given the choice, I'm like, okay, we can just leave this one here. But no, it needs to be seen just because it needs.
I need some help.
Needs some help.
Mm-hmm.
Needs a hug.
Mm-hmm.
It needs some of that love.
Is there anything else that jumps out at you about this place?
Just that I say they. It wasn't necessarily one person being that said this, but more of a collective voice.
Mm-hmm.
That
Yes.
that no, you can do this.
Mm-hmm.
You can give them the love that they need,
Mm-hmm.
and we'll be with you. And we'll take the veil off, and it will be. There will not be the shadow. There will be. It'll be like that fun place you were just in, that campground, that commune, that pod community.
Yeah.
This has the ability to be that. It's just like the train. It just got knocked off its tracks a little bit, and we need to put it back up and prop it up and give it the love and the support and they're saying I could do that. Oh, I just look at that and think it's heavy.
And where is this place? What would we call this place?
I think this is more of a 3D space, planet Earth place. This is. I'm like, no.
I liked where I was.
No, I went to the other place. But I can see as some love and extra like light is being pushed, covering. I can see is that some of it has the ability to be just like where we were.
Yeah.
It's just there's a lot of nothing's really too, no, there's not one thing that's too heavy. It's almost like blankets.
Mm-hmm.
There's not a heavy comforter, thick blanket, but there's a lot of little sheets that are
Mm-hmm.
just kind of blocking the light from getting through, like
Yeah.
diffusing it, filtering it out, and as some of this is these layers, these lenses, these blankets are sort of lifted. That spot is now I can see is for lack, I guess, warming up. It's like it's almost like watching a fire. It's like you see it's starting to catch where the love and the light is, and it's starting to spread, but it's not spreading. It's not like we're pouring gasoline on it. It's not erupting, but
Mm-hmm.
it's slowly, the more the paper, more the the log, more of the what's in the fireplace from, I
Yeah.
guess, is starting to catch on. And you can see that I can see the potential that this is going to be a great fire,
Mm-hmm.
but it's not there yet. It's still sort of in, we're kind of like trying to keep that little flame going so that it can catch more of the kindling and the other stuff so that it can grow into this. We know it's going to grow into this great, roaring, warm, crackling fire. But there's a lot of, it's almost like the logs are wet. And so
Okay.
they're not catching on easily, but they will. But they're sort of smoldering there, and as they're smoldering and they're warming up, and then the flame kind of takes over a little bit more. It's just going to take some time and some energy, and we just have to put that continually. And they're saying, just you can do this.
Mm-hmm.
I'm like, but I don't want. I want to go back to that other place. Oh,
And how can you ask them? How can you do this? And
it's just be me. Just
mm-hmm.
be who you are. You are truly you. We showed you. You are the conductor. You're the love. You're the light. You're the power. You're that source that can push that flame through. You don't really have to do anything. Just be.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. So with whom are we speaking now? Would this be the
It's kind of, I guess, it's not one person. It's almost like
higher collective?
a loudspeaker from the other room per se. It's not shouting though by any stretch. It's just talking it, but it's not one. It's not my voice. It's not my inner voice. It's not a voice. Not my brother's voice or my grandfather's voice. It's just sort of, it's the voice.
the voice. Mm-hmm.
It's almost like, oh, now I kind of, they're like showing me this or letting me feel this voice. It's like standing in a room with speakers all around you,
Mm-hmm.
and they're all talking, or they're giving you the same message, and it's coming from high and low and in. I can feel it in my stomach, and but it's not too loud, it's not too muffled, but it's not coming from one person or one
Mm-hmm.
source.
Mm.
It,
So is there any
yeah,
information that they can give you or us about how we can assist at this time?
it's not to be afraid
Mm-hmm.
that you're gonna be in situations and stuff, and whether you have to take a step forth just know that you can do this, and you are okay, and we're okay, and we've got you, and this is these layers as we peel back, or these blankets that we pull off. Some will have to rip off, and some will have to slowly fold back, but we'll know. We'll know how to do it. And because we were there, we were in that room, that classroom earlier,
Mm-hmm.
and they said you'll know. And if you see somebody else that doesn't know, or is unsure, or maybe they are younger, maybe, or not younger in a yearly sense, but it's just in a like a flower growing. They're just newer at their growth spurt. You'll know what to do for them or how to help them. And if you don't know, it's okay. You don't have to. We tell you that you're in control and you've got this and you're the conductor. And oh, I don't like it. They're like, you can drive. And I'm like, I don't know if I want to drive. And they're like, yeah, you do. Yes, you do.
Well, I wonder if we can ask this collective, or whatever they want to be identified as, if we should ask this collective voice, or whether we should ask the higher self some of your questions.
Okay. Yeah. Mm-hmm. They're smiling. Bring it on.
Okay. Well, the first class is about his purpose and the timing of this lifetime. Why is he here now, and what is his purpose here? What is his role?
Because oh man, I knew this was the path. Mm-hmm. And yes, I could have stayed in that classroom or in that space with my brother and my other family members and just hung out and had a grand old time. But they said, no, you knew better. And it's to support the other ones that are like me here. Mm-hmm. As one, we're grand, but as a group, we're it. And I'm supposed to I'm supposed to drive more.
You're supposed to drive.
I'm supposed to be conducting the show more. And I've been sitting on the sidelines a little bit, kind of watching. And it's time to step into that conductor role a little better. Okay. I've kind of been standing back, watching other people build their sections or their parts of the train, the domino train, and that's okay. Mm-hmm. But now it's time to get a little bit more, make sure that we're a little bit more involved. Because we're really, oh wow. We're really close to pulling off more than one of these blankets at a time. But we can't pull them more off one at a time unless everything is in alignment.
Yeah. Okay. And so what does Sean need to know so he can step into that role and step into that higher state of being? What does he need to know or understand to step into that?
My brother said, I just told you. You went in that knowledge room, you know, and just be love. Love's gonna prevail. And there's gonna be situations here as we pull these blankets off that it's gonna look like love didn't win, but he goes, trust me. I haven't been here very long, but I've been here a little longer in this new space. And I can step back down like I can and walk this other dimension. But love will prevail. These layers, these things that we have to pull back don't have a chance with the love and the light. And the light's there. And as we pull off these blankets or these veils or these lenses, there's more light that starts shining. It gets brighter. It's not bright and blinding, but just bright in a warmth and almost like it's like that fire that it's smoking, but as the fire, the heat, the warmth, the light of that fire starts taking over more of that log, it's more of it's catching fire and it's growing and it's getting bigger and it's doing exactly what it's supposed to do. And though the logs some of them are wet and maybe even a little mucky, they're not going to be able to stand up.
Is there any other information that wants to come through for Sean today? Any other messages?
Listen to your heart. Listen to your soul, because they know really what's right. You're doing much better at it, but try to get out of there. Do your best. It's harder. It's easier when you're in the pods. It's easier when you're at home. But when you're in the 3D space, it's somewhat harder to let go. And you just need to let go a little bit more and you'll be fine.
Is there a reason why Sean felt drawn to working with me?
He knows you. Like the dolphins. Yeah. There was a we helped a little bit in sort of guiding the two of you past the cross, but once it crossed, it was like family. There was a memory that was there.
Yeah. Beautiful. Are there any final messages for the collective?
Thank you. Sometimes this is really hard. This 3D space.
Beautiful. Are we complete for today?
Yeah. They're saying we can come back anytime. But yeah, today's good. There's and wow, I can feel it. I feel like I'm in the middle of a desert, the Sahara Desert, and no matter which way I look, I cannot see the end of the desert. nothing but sand, but all those grains of sand are love. And there's so much love around me.
Yeah, there is. Mm. 9, you're fully awake. 10, you're feeling good from head to toe. Welcome back.
Wow, we.
Welcome back to
That was wild.
Yeah.
That was really cool.
Yeah, you did really, really well. You did really good.
Thank you.